evening and welcome to the news. First, the headlines. NDDC to support farmers in River State. FCT Minister expresses gratitude to residents. Senate postpones resumption till April 23. FG launches card payment for social services. Senegal's new president appoints ministers. Davido says timeless album of self-rediscovery. Super Falcons depart for South Africa Sunday. A very pleasant evening and thank you for joining us on the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. I am Angel Mukoma with the news and now the details. Niger Delta Development Commission has pledged to support young farmers by expanding their operations to become training centers for youth. NDDC Director of Corporate Affairs Pius Ohakboteni stated this in a statement issued in Port Harcourt by Director Project Victor Antai. Antai emphasized the commitment of the federal government agency to leverage on the agricultural potential of the Niger Delta region and promote the shift from traditional to mechanized farming methods. The director, who was accompanied by the NDDC Director of Agriculture and Fisheries, Winifred Madume, and the Director of Commercial and Industrial Development, Dr. Godwin Nossery, expressed delight at the enthusiasm shown by young farmers in boosting food production. Antai further said that the Commission would purchase modern farming equipment such as tractors to boost its agricultural initiatives to project the Hope projects. Power of God Ministry Port Harcourt has unveiled the 6 hours of gospel symphony, divine visitation and revival in God's presence. Highlights of the event includes intensive choral ministrations, prophetic revelations and testimonies. According to the clergy, Pastor King David Ebenezer, the gospel event, 6 hours in God's presence, was born out of God's directive to revitalize, revive, heal, and unleash divine blessings to Christians through an extensive sessions of worship and praises, as guided by the Holy Spirit to wait on God's purpose and blessings.
So at the end of the day, you will go home with your miracle. Like I said, a change of story comes in a moment. Even while you were dancing, somebody has gotten a miracle. It comes in a moment.
6 hours in His presence was spirit-filled with anointing and praises. Speaking on the anointing of the event, lead pastor King David Ebenezer, including members of the church, stated that the program was guided by God's Spirit to create a reawakening among believers.
They don't give me programs that will come up every month. We had 3 days programming. January 17 to 19th. Then, the last Sunday of January, the last of which you have 6 hours in His presence, just like this. The spiritual awareness of individuals, because of the activities that are involved, the praise, worship, the word, and then the anointing.
Today we have what we call 7 hours with the Holy Spirit. It is indeed completely from the leading of the Spirit. He does what he wants. We come in and relax in his presence. According to how he directs us, so we go.
Application in the life of believer like this. After hearing what has happened today, there is a change in my mind and there is more commitment to the things of the Lord. The spiritual.
Bayelsa State Governor Doyederi has commended the State Independent Electoral Commission for the organization of the local government election that took place in the state. Governor Dere, who spoke with journalists immediately after voting, said reports available to him indicates that the poll was generally peaceful across the state. The governor voted alongside his wife, Dr. Gloria, at Kalamowe Wari, Unit 4, Ward 6 in Sampo Community, Kolokuma, Opokuma local government area. He expressed optimism that the People's Democratic Party will emerge victorious in the 105 wards of the 8 local government areas, as it was the only party with wide acceptance and vigorously campaigned across the state ahead of the election. Responding to a question on why the All Progressive Congress and the state did not participate in the election, David said only the faction led by Dennis Otio under the control of Chief Timpere Siva boycotted the poll and that the party had more than one faction. Police in Bayelsa State have arrested a 17-year-old boy, Lucky Okubo, over the suspected murder of his 14-year-old girlfriend, Shalon Ebitare, a resident of Akabiri community in Yenegua local government area of the state. A spokesman for the Bayelsa State Police Command, Musa Mohammed, in a statement said that the Commissioner of Police, Aloyonu Idu, had ordered a discreet investigation into the circumstances leading to the death of the teenage girl in a hotel in Yenegua. It said that the suspect who was apprehended by police operatives attached to a KK Divisional Police Headquarters, confessed upon interrogation that he took the deceased to a hotel where he intended to have carnal knowledge of her. The CP has urged the general public to remain calm, vigilant, and report any suspicious activities to the nearest police station or call the command control emergency numbers. Meanwhile, the Bayelsa State Police Command has assured the well-meaning people of Bayelsa State of its commitment to ensure social harmony and security stability during council election in the 8 local government areas and wards of the state. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Reid Lagbaja, has commissioned several projects in Nimbe National Grammar School in Bayelsa State. The projects include remodeling of the school's main gate, construction of 8 toilets, renovation of sciences laboratories, and supply of laboratory equipment, among others. The projects were executed by the Army's Director of Engineering Services, Major General A.I. Allison, an indigene of Nimbe and a former senior prefect of NNGS in 1988. The Army also renovated the school kitchen, provided solar light at the dining hall for prep, and established a computer-based test center equipped with 168 computers. The Chief of Army Staff was represented by Major General Jamal Abdul Salam, General Officer Commanding 6th Division of the Nigerian Army, at a ceremony. Governor Sharif Oborovi of Delta State has called for a transparent investigation into the killing of 17 soldiers in Ukwama community, Ugelu South local government area of the state. Governor made the call when the board of inquiry constituted by the defense headquarters to investigate the incident visited him at the government house annex Warri. The governor said that innocent citizens should not be made to suffer any further. He said his administration was deeply pained over the sad incident and would do all to assist the board with his assignment. Earlier, Chairman of the Board of Inquiry, AVM David Ajayi, said the board was in the state to investigate the unfortunate incident that happened at Ukwama. Abia State Governor Alex Otti says he inherited 192.2 billion naira debt from his predecessor, Okezie Ikpeazu. He said Ikpeazu, on his part, inherited 34.5 billion naira from his predecessor. Otti disclosed this during an interaction with journalists. Otti also expressed his happiness that the state did not feature in the list of debtor states recently released by the Debt Management Office. Otti expresses happiness that work is going on by mayors at all the local government area headquarters in the state, stating that 90% of the headquarters were in the dilapidation stage following neglect by previous administrations. Nigerian security and civil defense cooperatives has again successfully busted illegal bunkering of crude oil belonging to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. According to the public relations officer of the NSCDC, Babawale Afolabi, the directives of the Commandant General Dr. Ahmed Aoudi to all commandants, surveillance, monitoring and intelligence units regarding activities of the oil thieves are yielding the desired results. Falabi said in a statement that operatives of the CGS Surveillance and Intelligence Unit uncovered a massive illegal refining site with over 95,000 illegally refined automotive gas oil in Otulu Community, Ebema Council area of Imo State. He added that there were other consignments yet to be refined but already siphoned in large quantities. He listed exhibits recovered at the crime scene as galvanized iron pipes, several locally fabricated metal reservoirs, constant park gasoline generating set, bridge inverter welding machine, electrical filing machine, several vandalized wellhead valves, a yellow-colored Robin GC pumping machine, and packs of electrolyte. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led administration has directed the contractors handling the Abiola Onijemo Link Road with Bridge project to ensure timely delivery of the completion works on the project latest in June 2024. The project is in furtherance to the effort of the state government to improve connectivity and provide an effective bypass to traffic gridlock in the metropolis. Speaking during an inspection of the project, the special advisor to the Governor, Office of Infrastructure, Engineer Olufemi Daramola, described the project as one of the strategic projects being undertaken by Governor Sanwo-Olu in line with the Themes Plus agenda. According to Daramola, to further consolidate the transportation pillar of the Themes Plus agenda, the Abiola Onijemo Road with Bridge project was embarked upon 18 months ago. Lagos State Police Command has arrested a dismissed Nigerian Navy personnel for allegedly impersonating a serving military officer and lending himself out to assault people. A statement by the command spokesperson SP Benjamin Hondin and said the suspect was apprehended while he and his boys were beating a hotel staff. Hondin said the job was contracted to him by one of the hotel's customers who had refused to stop smoking in a no-smoking area of the hotel. According to the PPRO, the dismissed naval officer charged 20,000 to bring his boys to beat up anybody for his client. He stated that the suspect was dismissed 24 years ago from the Nigerian Navy but continued to parade himself as a serving personnel. He assured that the suspect will soon be arraigned. A spokesperson for the Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency in Lagos State, Babatunde Kimbi, has confirmed that one person died in an accident that occurred at the Ago-Adura axis of the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway on Saturday. Kimbi said the driver, who was a lone occupant of a Mercedes-Benz car, was said to have dozed off, leading to a loss of control and eventual tumbling of the vehicle. The impact of the tumbling was said to have led to his death. The TRACE spokesperson further disclosed that the body of the victim has been deposited at Ifo General Hospital while the vehicle was evacuated from the road to ease the movement of traffic. He, however, urged drivers to be sure of their state of mind before embarking on any road journey to avoid needless road crashes. Two siblings were reportedly crashed to death along the Idi Mango in Ore, Idibo Council area of Ondo State. Sources say that the victims, who were on a motorcycle, were crashed to death by a truck loaded with sand at about 10:25 a.m. on Saturday. Eyewitnesses say that the crash was caused by the victim's carelessness while plying the highway. According to him, the victim slipped on the motorcycle and rammed into the truck coming along Otikpupa Road. Contacted the state commander of the FRSC, Ezekiel San Allah, contributed the crash to overspeeding by the victims. Ezekiel San Allah pleaded with motorcyclists to always avoid overspeeding. National Chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has told opposition parties in Ondo the ruling party will retain its hold on the state at the November governorship election. He promised all the 16 on the governorship aspirant a level playing ground during the party's April 20 primary election. He spoke through the Deputy National Organizing Secretary, Nzechidi Juru, while receiving the expression of interest and nomination forms of Ifoluwa Oyedele to mark the closing of submission of forms for all the 16 aspirants who purchased the forms at the APC National Secretariat Abuja. Ganduje said the National Working Committee of the party is committed to ensuring that the rules guiding the conduct of the primary election are adhered to. According to him, the party is interested and desirous of conducting a free, fair, transparent primary election in Ondo State. Recalling the outcome of the just concluded Edo APC primary, the chairman noted that even the few who felt they would need to go to court, as we would always expect, up to now they were 360 degrees turnaround. All Progressive Congress promised to conduct a free, fair and transparent primary election to choose its candidate for the November 11 governorship election in Ondo State. Deputy National Organizing Secretary Nzejuru gave the assurance on Saturday in Abuja as the party drew the curtain on the submission of expression of interest and nomination forms by aspirants. The primary election is scheduled to hold on April 20, 2024. 16 aspirants have picked forms for the contest. He noted that aspirants would be divided into groups for the screening to ensure a smooth process. Jury equally enjoined all aspirants to extend a hand of felicitation to whoever emerged as a party's candidate. You are watching the Global Atlantic Global Television Network. We'll be back after this break. We're glad to have you back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now the rest of our stories. Former chieftain of the Association for Better Nigeria, Abimbola Davis, is dead. The association, led by the late Arthur Nzaribe, sets the stage for the decision of the military dictator Ibrahim Babangida to annul the June 12, 1993 presidential election won by MKO Abiola of the Social Democratic Party, despite being adjudged as the freest and fairest elections in Nigeria's history. There is a popular Ibadan-based golfer died in his residence in the Jericho area of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Confirming his death to a correspondent on Saturday, the deceased elder brother Aziz Olalekon, popularly known as Energy, said the news of the Ibadan-based golfer came as a shock, adding that he was still up to his feet on Tuesday after he visited the Ibadan Golf Club to have fun. He maintained that Davis died after developing a medical issue. Davis was born on September 29, 1957 in Ibadan into the family of Adebiyi of the Abole Onilu Drummers compound at Itutaba, Ibadan. Ebonyi State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested 3 minors for alleged attempt to rape another minor. State Commandant of the Corps, Elijah Willie, who revealed these to newsmen on Saturday in Abakaliki, said 2 of the suspects are aged 15 and 13. He added that the command was on the heels of a 3rd suspect currently on the run, adding that the incident occurred at the Ishielu local government area of the state. In another development, the NSCDC commandant also said that they had arrested 2 suspects for alleged vandalism of electricity cables at the Ebonyi International Shopping Mall. He noted that the suspect will be prosecuted after the completion of investigation. Former chairman of the Nigerian Television Authority, Patrick Obu, has declared his intention to contest for the chairmanship of the People's Democratic Party in Benue State. He made the declaration at his residence in Markodi, the state capital. Obu, a member of the PDP from its foundation Without Break, pointed out that his commitment and passion for the party's success ran deep, and he is ready to channel this energy to transform it. He said he is presenting himself as a capable chairmanship candidate to reposition the party in the state. Former PDP governorship aspirant and candidate for Van Dekia Konshisha Federal Constituency, Julius Atoru, backs Obo, describing him as hardworking. Honorable Minister of FCT Nyesom Wike expresses appreciation to the FCT residents for complying with the road traffic around the areas where roads are deviated for road repairs and constructions in city of Abuja. The minister said these while inspecting road constructions in Gwazape diplomatic zone and many others in Abuja.
We spotted on some areas that we think that we should make an adjustment. But overall, it will be completed, and then we'll be there for the next 1 weeks. The street lights will be on. We also went to Zapolo 2, where we stood work. That will also be completed before May ending. That will be delivered to us. That will be done by Gable. Here, this is done by Salim. Then we went to the diplomatic area, which is not part of what will be commissioned, but to see how they are doing. We believe, like they've said, for the next 1.5 years, we should be completed before service. I believe by the grace of God, we will have the funds, and we'll make sure you can see that it's a lovely place. If anybody would like to reside, so we're happy. Generally, I think we are doing well. To the glory of God, we are doing well. We are doing well. So, and I commend all of you for your support, and the residents of Abuja who have been making some sacrifice. If you see some road, diverted traffic.
Wike further stated that the 2024 appropriate budget signed by Mr. President will also serve through FCT health and education sector, calling on Nigerians to commend government where there is improvement. To commend them.
We want to thank Mr. President who have assented to the Appropriation Act and enabling us to really go in to start procurement process. What you will see will be a revolution in terms of infrastructure. These few months we came in, 1 year, almost 1 year that the President has come in. With this budget, a lot of things will be done, not just on roads, both in health sector and education sector. I don't know about criminals. I've always told you that there are those who will never be happy in their life. They are sadists. If anybody who says that there will be improvement in terms of street life, is a sadist. We are trying also to make some repairs of those that have been vandalized, which is not easy. Like when you had the Salini Hussein here, that they've tested it, but even though they've not owned it because they are waiting for commission. So maybe this is part of the area they think that is that. When you say criminals all over, I think those who are saying so are part of the criminals themselves. People should be able to commend government when there are improvements. I didn't say here that we are going to concentrate only on roads. We are saying we are going to dwell on the health sector and education sector. Even agriculture, in terms of education, there are a few weeks we flagged up about the renovation of 19 schools. And I just said that we are going to take on 21 schools again under the 2024 budget. These people know. It's just that some Nigerians find it difficult to accept the reality of ground that yes, things have changed. And when you do that, you see that those who are working will give in their best. But not when you do something, so them to commend you on that, they are not happy. What they expected is not what they are seeing. They thought that we would have failed. But unfortunately, we are not failing. We are going on stronger and stronger every day. So don't bother about sadness. There's nothing you can do about it.
In the meantime, President Bala Ahmed Tinubu has approved a rescheduled date for commissioning a project in his one-year office. Honorable Minister of FCT Yesom Wike discloses while inspecting Abuja Central Metro Station renovation works and train tracks from central area to the Abuja Airport in Abuja. He said that the train transportation project was key to Mr. President as it is important to the development of Nigeria's economy.
Mr. President has approved the schedule for the commissioning of projects for his 1 year in office. And this is a very important project. Those of us who rode on the metro line, you will see that it's more convenient to use the metro line than even using our vehicles to go to the airport. So I'm really impressed with the contractor, ECC. They assured us that all the renovation works will be ready before the commissioning date. I believe this will be the first project that Mr. President would like to inaugurate because it's very key to the development of the economy, particularly as far as FCT is concerned. So for me, it's a dream come true that we're happy that after all said and done, that the metro line will be in use for Nigerians come May 29th.
Wike said FCT administration is planning to build more train metro stations to end insecurity on Abuja roads and one-chance criminality in Abuja City, promising that come May 29, 2024, Abuja transportation will be smooth and safe.
We have told you that we are also putting up 3 terminals for the road transportation. And of course, we are running out our own transport system so that we'll be able to curtail this one chance criminality we have found in Abuja. By May, you will see that our own transport system will be used and people will no longer take the risk of entering vehicles that don't know those who are operating the vehicles. Is it what we want? Yes, we want to use the metro line. And even though we are trying to save cost, but in order to save cost too, we must make sure that we give them what is befitting for the Abuja residents.
The Diocese of Methodist Church of Nigeria in Abuja has paid a courtesy visit to the Honorable Minister of FCT, Barrister Yesom Wike, on application for land to build an office and a media outfit that will bring development and thereby it get to nations building for the people of Nigeria. Leader of the Methodist Diocese of Abuja, Oliver Alibaba, stated these are the purpose of the visit.
It is worthy of note that Methodist Church Nigeria and Christianity came to Nigeria in 1842, bringing Western education, healthcare, human development, business enterprise, and other social amenities. That makes the Christian faith founders of our schools, of our hospitals, and business ventures. Just mention but a few. This also brought about the development and later synergy on the one hand between the people and the church, and on the other hand between the church and the government, which are all geared towards the nation building of a very good society called Nigeria. Your Excellency, sir, in view of above, I wish to request for more visible presence of Methodism within your territory, FCT. I ask that our church is granted more land for the development of a licensing office, a befitting media outfit to enhance evangelism and other social amenities to be provided.
While responding to requests made by Methodist Church Group, the Honorable Minister of FCT, Yesom Wiki, approved their applications, promising them a piece of land for the building of office and media outfits.
It is not in our place to deny leaders of various religious groups of a place to enhance evangelism, of a place to make people know that there is God. If, as people who don't even understand will ask for where they can do one thing or the other, not where religious bodies who have taken it upon themselves to pray for this country, for the continuous unity of this country. So I'm very glad that when you made the application, it didn't work. Now it will work. We would like to take your application and do the necessary things and to see that we give you a piece of land that you say to build an office and where you have the media. So that's not going to be a problem at all. And to encourage you not to relent, but not to pray for this administration. Satan is always at work.
All the nooks and crannies of this country.
Unite.
And we have the former day president.
But we do know with your prayers, we will defeat.
Chief Imam of Iyara in Ijumu local government area of Kogi State, Sheikh Kwasim Musa, has regained his freedom from the hands of his abductors. Musa was kidnapped by unknown gunmen on Monday, March 25, 2024, at his house in Ilukpa, Iyara headquarters of Ijumu local government area of the state. The gunmen were said to have come in commando-style, shooting sporadically into the air before taking their victim to an unknown destination. Confirming the release in a short message sent to our correspondent on Saturday, the Kogi State Police Public Relations Officer SP William Uwe Aya confirmed his release in a statement on Saturday. Leader of Ago Jeju Odu community in Kogi, Elias Atabo, has urged the federal government to establish a military base in Omala local government area to checkmate bandits' incessant attacks on the people. Atabo made the plea in an interview with newsmen in Lokoja. The community leader made a call when it was discovered that the death toll from Thursday's attack on the Kogi community rose from 19 to 25. The figure included 4 children, while several persons were being hospitalized. But retired Commodore Jerry Omodara, special advisor on security to Governor Usman Ododo, said the death toll had risen to 21, with more being discovered by the hour. Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has vowed to fish out all the criminals behind the killings in Gojeju Odo community in Omala local government area of the state. The governor, who expressed shock and sympathy to the families of those who lost their loved ones and properties, disclosed this in a statement made available to journalists in Lokoja by Special Advisor on Media Isa Ismaila on Saturday. Governor Ododo assured that the perpetrators of the dastardly act who attacked the community will be brought to justice. Other than that, security agencies are on the trail of the assailant who acts of mindless cowardice resulted in the destruction of lives and property in the area. While regretting the ugly dimension that the communal clashes between people in the area have assumed over time, Governor Dodo promised immediate intervention by his administration to forestall a recurrence of the unfortunate situation. Governor Dodo further said that the state will deploy a detachment of the recently established Metropolitan Quick Response to the area to complement the existing security architecture in Omala local government area. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi has suspended the Commissioner for Commerce Aminu Kanta over alleged misappropriation of Ramadan feeding funds. The suspension, which is with immediate effect, followed the allegations of misappropriation of funds allocated for the Ramadan Iftar feeding program in Babura local government area of the state. This is contained in a statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Bala Ibrahim in Duse, the state capital. According to the statement, the affected commissioner would remain suspended and pending the outcome of an investigative committee established by the governor to probe the allegation. State Executive Council approved the release of 2.8 billion naira for the Ramadan Iftar feeding program across the 27 local government areas of the state. Nasarawa State Police Command says its operatives have neutralized a suspected armed robber, one Ifanichuku Ilegalo, in the Maraba area of Karo local government area during a robbery operation. Police Public Relations Officer DSP Rahman Nansel said in a statement on Saturday that one Edachi Joseph, who was among the robbery gang, was also arrested. The PPRO explained that the arrest followed a recent move by the State Commissioner of Police, CP Omaro Shehu Nadada, to rejig the community policing template of the Maraba area, where several incidences of robbery cases were recently recorded. He said that the command received information on April 5, 2024, that a gang of 8 armed robbers were attacking some residents of Asopada in Maraba area. The Commissioner of Police has commended the effort of the police operatives, vigilante groups and members of the community for their display of bravery and assured them of his continuous support. Katsina State Police Command has eliminated 5 suspected bandits and rescued 100 kidnapped victims in the state. Command spokesman ASP Abubakar Sadiq Aliyu disclosed this in Katsina while briefing newsmen on the achievements recorded by the command in March. He further stated that 658 restored animals were recovered, while 11 suspected murderers and 29 rapists were apprehended within the period under review. Sadiq Aliyu said a total of 51 major crime cases such as armed robbery, kidnapping, culpable homicide, cattle rustling, among others, were reported in the month of March. According to him, 9 suspects were arrested for armed robbery and 19 others for sundry offenses, including intimidation, incitement, theft, and belonging to gangs of brigands. Soldiers of the Nigerian Army have killed 3 terrorists in transit to repair their motorcycles around the Kidandan village, Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. The troops were said to have laid an ambush for the terrorists following an intelligence report. It was gathered, resulted in a fire in a fierce gun battle between the troops and the terrorists. According to a post by the Nigerian Army on its X-handle on Saturday, the troops eliminated 3 terrorists and recovered several weapons. The Army urged citizens to support security agencies to tackle the surge of insecurity ravaging many parts of the country. The Army therefore enjoined members of the public to continue to support Nigerian Army troops and other security operatives as they continue to strive to mitigate security challenges in the country. President says President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja, the nation's capital, for Lagos on Sunday ahead of Eid al-Fitr. This was disclosed via a statement issued by the special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale. According to the statement, in deference to the solemn occasion, which marks the end of Ramadan, the President will observe the moment in prayers for Nigeria and with family. The President will continue official duties during and after the Eid al-Fitr holidays. President Bola Tinubu has appealed for global peace and stability in Africa and other troubled spots around the world. He made the appeal while addressing members of the diplomatic corps and heads of international organizations during Ramadan Iftar in Abuja. The President urged ambassadors to convey the message of peace and stability to their respective countries. Reflecting on the essence of Ramadan, Tinubu emphasized the values of tolerance and perseverance, noting their importance in fostering peace and stability worldwide. Tinubu appealed to members of the diplomatic corps to extend their care and support to the needy and the vulnerable, noting the collective responsibility to promote peace and stability globally. Senate has postponed the resumption of plenary sessions originally slated for Tuesday. Former Minister of Defense Senator Musa Kwankwaso says the military has the capacity to end the current security challenge facing the country, noting given the necessary motivation. Kwankwaso, also the national leader of New Nigeria People's Party, said this when he spoke with newsmen shortly after the NNPP National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja. He said that although it was the responsibility of the federal government to address the insecurity challenge, Nigerians also had a crucial role to play by supplying vital information to security agencies. Kwankwaso, also the NNPP 2023 presidential candidate, said that his party had the formula to address the problem and other challenges facing the country if given the opportunity by Nigerians. He said the NNPP was the only hope for Nigerians, saying that the All Progressive Congress APC and the People's Democratic Party PDP had failed the people. Inspector General of Police Kayode has approved the posting of police public relations officers to various commands and formations. Inspector General Kayode has also appointed CSP Isuko Victor Edaloko as Deputy Force Public Relations Officer, Force Headquarters Abuja. IGP said the posting is to strengthen community engagement and strategic communication. He tasked newly posted officers to be professional in their dealings and foster unalloyed relationship with members of the public. A statement on Saturday by the Force Public Relations Officer ASP Olumuyiwa Dejebi said the newly posted officers and their respective portfolios include DSP Ukando Joshua to PPRO Ebonyi, ASP Buhari Abdullahi to PPRO Gombe, ASP John Timfon to PPRO Akwa Ibom, and ASP Hundeyin Isaac Sewano to PPRO Port Authority Police, Western Lagos. The Inspector General of Police hereby reiterates his commitment to standardizing and repositioning the force in line with his vision statement while wishing the newly posted officers success in their new roles. National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has released a final number of intending pilgrims who paid for the 2024 Hajj. Assistant Director of Public Affairs of the Commission, Fatima Sanda Usara, said in a statement that after the closing of registration, the official number of intending pilgrims that registered stood at 51,447 under the Nigerian quota. She said commendably President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government played a role in realization of the noble objective. Usara also commended the patience exhibited by the pilgrims who were caught up in the uncertainties. Kaduna State had the highest number of pilgrims with 4,493. Kano traced closely with 3,053. Bayelsa and Ebonyi State have the lead with 13 each, while Abia, Akwa Ibom, Anambra and Cross River do not have any pilgrims on the list. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has reacted to a news report in a leading national newspaper entitled EFCC Stop Service of Charges of Binance Chief Affairs alleges. EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale said the report is untrue, misleading, and removed from the facts before the court. He said at no time did the courts believe approached the EFCC to serve any of the Binance executives in his custody with a charge. At the last sitting of the court, counsel to the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Moses Ida, did not lodge such a complaint before the court. He only told the court that the service was there to serve the defendant. The commission therefore finds the news item preposterous and embarrassing, other than that the public is enjoined to ignore it entirely. Nigerian Meteorological Agency has issued a weather prediction alert warning of the likelihood of heat stress and thunderstorm across various parts of the country on Saturday. The agency made the predictions in its weather report released in Abuja on Saturday. According to NIMET, the heat index over Nigeria is expected to soar with a strong prospect of heat stressing in many regions, urging the public to take necessary precautions. The agency emphasized the importance of staying well hydrated and avoiding strenuous activities, especially during the peak hours between 12 noon and 4 p.m. NIMET advised the public about strong winds preceding the rains in areas where thunderstorms are likely to occur, urging them to take adequate precautions. And now we are moving on to the business news. Naira appreciated 351.12 Naira against the US dollar in the foreign exchange market in the last 1 month. This is according to the FMDQ data on the dollar exchange rate from March 8 to April 5, 2024. Accordingly, the country's currency gained 351.12 by appreciating to 51.0 per dollar on Friday from 1,602.17 on March 8, 2024. The figure represents a 21.9% appreciation in the reference period. The development shows that Naira has continued its appreciation since last month. Director of the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, Muda Yusuf, had attributed the sustained gain of Naira at the FX market to the Central Bank of Nigeria's recent forex reforms. Federal government, through the National Identity Management Commission in collaboration with the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System, has launched an innovative identity solution with payment in functionality for all types of social and financial services. Head of Corporate Communications at NIMEC Kayode Adegoke discloses in a statement. He explained that Afrigo will power the national ID card layered with verifiable national identity features and is backed by the NIMC Act number 23 of 2007. According to NIMC, the card will address the demand for physical identification, enabling card holders to prove their identity, access government and private social services, facilitate financial inclusion for disenfranchised Nigerians, empower citizens, and encourage increased participation in nation building. The Commission stated that the card shall enable eligible persons, especially those financially excluded from social and financial services, to have access to multiple government interventions programs. Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has issued 5 new directives to electricity distribution companies following the recent tariff hike. The directives were in a recent notice signed by the Deputy General Manager of Market Competition and Rates, Abba Terab. Recall that NEC last Tuesday approved a 225 per kilowatt hour electricity tariff for banned electricity customers getting at least 20 hours of power supply. In a follow-up update, NEC mandated all the schools to ensure that only the 480 newly approved Band A feeders are charged the new rate. The Commission stressed that all these codes should set up a portal on their website by April 10, 2024, allowing all customers to check their current bands by entering their meter or account numbers. And now on the international tidbit, Senegal's President Bassirou Faye named a breakaway government appointing a host of fresh faces to top roles following his landslide election win last month. The 44-year-old, who has never been elected minister and former mentor Sonko, who helped propel the political newcomer's rise to power. Sonko unveiled a cabinet of 25 ministers, hailing it Sonko unveiled a cabinet of 25 ministers, hailing it as a break from the past. Sonko spearheaded Senegal's anti-establishment movement, but endorsed a Faye on the presidential ballot after he was barred from running himself due to a defamation conviction. France will aim to renew ties with Africa and build balanced partnerships that are beneficial to the continent. According to the country's top diplomatic Stéphane Séjourné on Saturday, relations have spiraled downwards between France and some former African colonies as the continent becomes a renewed diplomatic battleground, with Russian and Chinese influence growing. Appointed in January, Séjourné began his first visit to Africa on Saturday in Kenya and will later head to Rwanda before making a final stop in Ivory Coast. Séjourné said Africa was a priority of French foreign policy because the continent is on the way to becoming a cultural, economic and diplomatic power that will count in the world's balance. Russia said it has evacuated more than 4,000 people in the Oranbang region, which lies near the Kazakhstan border, due to flooding after a dam burst. Emergency services had been working through the night after a dam burst in the city of Orsk, near the border with Kazakhstan. The press service of the Oranbang, the governor, said 4,208 people, including 1,019 children, had been evacuated and more than 2,500 homes were affected by the flooding after a dam burst on Friday following torrential rain. Russia opened a criminal case on negligence and violation of construction safety rules into the bust of the dam built in 2014. Authorities said the situation was difficult throughout the region, warning of a dangerous water level on the Ural River in the main city of Orenburg. Now on the entertainment news, Afrobeat sensation Davido went down memory lane days back, describing his Grammy-nominated fourth studio album, Timeless, as his album of journey of self-rediscovery, as well as a testament to his growth and resilience as a singer. The singer said this as he celebrated 1 year of dropping the 17-track album in March last year. Timeless, released in 2023, was Davido's fourth studio project since he ventured into music 12 years ago. The album was nominated in the Best Global Music Album category at this year's Grammy Awards. The title, according to the superstar, was a manifestation of his goal for the album to remain a classic for decades. Controversial Nollywood actor Uche Maduagwu has blasted popular social media user, a very dark man, for mocking and rejoicing over the arrest and detention of cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, popularly called Bobrisky, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Bobrisky was detained by the Lagos State Command of EFCC Wednesday for naira mutilation, abuse of naira, and spraying of naira notes. Meanwhile, in a series of videos shared on his Instagram page, a popular social media user mocks the cross-dresser while warning sympathizers to desist from using their connections to save him from the net of EFCC. In a video he posted on X handle, VDM insisted that nobody should come to the rescue of the cross-dresser. However, disappointed by the VDM's outburst, Uche Maduagwu argued that Bobrisky was more mature than VDM. Nollywood actor Nwogo Udochukwu Victor, popularly known as Nkubi, and his wife Vivian have welcomed their first child together. The comic star announced the good news via his Instagram page on Saturday. He shared a video showing his wife baby bump on display, with him planting a kiss on her belly. He, however, did not disclose the gender of his child. Fans and colleagues thronged to the comment section to congratulate the couple. Recall that Nkubi and Vivian tied the nuptial knot in 2021. Now we are moving on to the exciting world of sports. Nigeria Women Football League has postponed the match day 13 and 14 fixtures respectively. The postponement was due to the upcoming Eid al-Fitr celebration, which marks the end of Ramadan. NWFL Chief Operating Officer Mudukwe Shabi discloses in a memo sent to all the clubs. Shabi explained that the rescheduling was necessitated as the week 13 fixture coincides with the Ramadan celebration. A new date is expected to be announced for the postponed fixtures. Super Falcons of Nigeria will jet out of the country on Sunday night for the return leg of their 2024 Olympic Games qualifier against South Africa. The players and the officials will travel to South Africa via the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Nigeria holds a 1-0 advantage from the first leg. The reverse fixtures will take place in Pretoria on Tuesday. The overall winners will pick one of Africa's 2 tickets for the women's football event at Paris 2024. The Copper Queens of Zambia and Atlas Lionesses of Morocco are battling for the other ticket. The Super Falcons last featured at the Olympics 16 years ago in Beijing, China. Norwegian club Sogndal have signed Nigerian defender Emmanuel Olufemi Olugbe. The centre-back joined Sogndal from Hyper FC Abuja on loan with the option to buy on a permanent basis. Olugbe impressed during trials at the club in February. The 18-year-old is in line to make his debut against Darling on Saturday. Nigerians Jerome Ako and Peter Michael were once in the books of Sogndal. Calvin De Bruyne brought up his century of goals for Manchester City by scoring twice in a 4-2 win at Crystal Palace that moved the champions level on point with Premier League leaders Liverpool. City had fallen behind after just 3 minutes at Selhurst Park, but De Bruyne led the response by calling in a beauty to equalize. Which put the visitors in front early in the second half before De Bruyne teed up Erling Haaland to end his goal drought. Pep Guardiola's decision to hand De Bruyne and Haaland the night off for Wednesday's 4-1 win over Aston Villa paid dividends as his side remained on course to defend the terrible they won last season. And that's it on the Global News tonight. Before we go, let's take a quick look at the major stories. Now let's look at the headlines. NDDC to support farmers in River State. FCT Minister expresses gratitude to residents. Senate postpones resumption till April 23. We also brought you the news that FG launches card payment for social services. Senegal's national president appoints ministers. The video says timeless album of self-rediscovery. Super Falcons depart for South Africa Sunday. And that's it on the news. I am Angel, Okoma, popularly known as Angelic Angel. Thank you so very much for watching. You can also follow us on our social media platforms and on Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, and on Facebook and on YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, and on Instagram Atlantic Television TV Network. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Do have a lovely evening. Thank you so very much for watching. Good night.